All right. Well, I just want to say obviously, we're talking about WandaVision again. But I want to ask you a question first.
Okay.
Because I've only seen the first episode. And if you haven't watched it yet, maybe this will be the first thing we do like reaction watches for.
What?
The new Superman show.
No.
Okay. Well, I saw the first episode. And
I lost all interest in CW shit a long time ago.
yeah, but this isn't that.
It isn't?
I mean, I don't want to give too much away.
Okay.
Let's pretend like this is the same character that was in like those CW shows when
Yeah.
they did Superman a little bit.
Okay.
Like for Crisis and whatever. Except that this is now like, without saying he's in the future, they're just kind of like saying, okay, this is that character in the Lois Lane we saw, but now they've been married and have like teenage sons.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So they're covering ground that has never been covered in any significant way other than in like an oddball future story.
Oh, what if kind of thing.
No, this is going to be a series that is going to tackle like kind of like middle-aged Superman, married for 20 years with fucking twin sons. This is going to be like, and let me tell you,
Are his sons superpowered?
Well, I mean, we're going to watch it because it was really, really good.
Really?
Really, really, really good. And I'll pretend like I didn't see the first episode so we can do it again. But I think that's going to be our first show that we do our little videos for.
Okay.
Because it would have been this, but we're jumping in at the end of this.
I don't think anybody expected WandaVision to become what it's become.
I think everyone should have, because this is.
I think we wanted to, but I think those first two episodes you were like.
But I'm saying before that,
yeah,
like going into it, everyone should have known, because this is their commitment.
Yeah.
This was their first commitment into going. We're going to expand the MCU in a significant way with the real characters and, with the movie characters, not like saying Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where like that first season, they hinted at the fact they existed in the same universe, but they never really had crossover. You had like some ancillary character. Like,
Lady Sif.
Like Sif show up for one episode. They vaguely mentioned things like New York.
Wasn't like the back of Thor's head in one or some shit?
I don't know. But they vaguely reference, what happens in New York. And by the 7th season, they're just doing their own thing.
Yeah.
But they're so handcuffed because they can't. They literally were doing Sword.
Yeah.
But they weren't allowed to do Sword because Marvel decided that they wanted to do it here in WandaVision. So they ended up in space and doing all this, like the last season or the last 2 seasons of S.H.I.E.L.D., they're running around in space and shit, and it's really cool stuff. But if it had been like part of the official MCU storyline, it could have been so much better.
Now, let me ask you,
everyone should have known that WandaVision was going to be their commitment to basically telling all the it's like all the movie stuff and that continuity.
The continuing
Except
Avengers.
now we're getting weekly.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the big actors and the big budgets.
Let me ask you, because this is kind of after last night's episode, this kind of seems kind of important to me.
By the way, two of my theories happened in this. Two.
Was WandaVision always going to be the first show we saw?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know with the pandemic, like they pushed back Falcon and
well, I think I didn't know if they pushed back, quote unquote, as much as I think they all just got delayed because I think they were in the midst of shooting that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about
shut down.
WandaVision was always going to be the first released.
Maybe. I mean, I think so.
Because I think the repercussions of this show reverb through the whole universe.
I think that Bucky and the Falcon show, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, that's going to be more of a sub-contained story.
Yeah.
It's not like overarching big themes like
that's not true.
Like WandaVision is.
That's not. Well, maybe I don't know, man. Because remember, they're bringing in U.S. Agent.
But it's all within their own little fucking issue
you mean as as a whole, yeah.
Like nobody, like, okay, so they have their own little dramas and they're bringing in new characters, but it's not like anything that's happening there is going to affect Doctor Strange and Spider-Man.
Yeah, because
et cetera, et cetera.
Because they're all just.
No, this is more like This feels like it's gonna be a show to transition him into being Captain America.
I'll be honest. I'll be really honest. I feel this does a better job explaining or not explaining. Excuse me, introducing magic than fucking Doctor Strange did. I loved the opening with Annika Harkness.
Yeah, see, I thought you were talking about Bucky and Falcon. That's what we were talking about. You fucking idiot.
I'm jumping all over the place, but that's what I do.
Well, anyway, I mean. It doesn't. It doesn't, because without Doctor Strange, this is too much. This would have been deep end of the pool shit that you couldn't start with.
Yeah,
you can't start with this. Yeah. You had to have already established a magic world with Doctor Strange and stuff. So I'll just cut that. Let me just say before we get into anything else, two of my theories came true in this. One was the White Vision, and two was the storyline I figured they were telling, which was that magic is this thing that has to be learned over time and discipline.
Yeah.
And you have to go from the shallow into the deep end. And Wanda is this outlier where, because her magic is kind of like a mutant power, so to speak, or whatever, they kind of like just define it differently, but it's the same concept. Is that like Agatha Harkness during this is like, how are you doing all this? And you don't know you don't know the basics of spell work. You don't know the basics of magic. How are you doing all this?
That got me, because at the very beginning when she goes, oh, there's a simple
which is the comic book.
She's
stuff,
like, oh,
where Doctor Strange is like, all this stuff takes decades of discipline, practice, and learning, and you're just doing it without ever having learned the fundamentals.
You're just chaos magic. It's fantastic that they went that route, because it's something. Look, it means that the entire series at this point, Agatha's character is just trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Like you said, she enters, flies in because she felt this magical fucking reverb. And she's like, what's going on? And she spent all this time trying to figure out what the fuck is happening. And this episode
she's like, I keep waiting for you to reveal it.
Yeah, and you got close, but...
And she's like, you've got all this and you're just making breakfast for dinner.
And it's weird because you ended episode 7 going like, oh, Agatha's the villain. And now you're like, oh, no, she's just trying to figure out what the hell's happening.
Well... Maybe. She's not a good guy.
No. But she never really was.
She's not pulling the strings in this, but she's manipulating her. But she's. I mean, look. She. Even in the opening, with their version of this, the witch trials in Salem, where like the witch they were policing their own and whatever, and like she's breaking the coven's laws. It's like, is she in the wrong? I don't know, but they're trying to kill her for it.
Yeah.
And then she kills them, and her own mother's trying to kill her for it. So she's like sort of the sympathetic character, but at the end, is she breaking the rules?
Yeah.
And I did like when they were showing all that, when the mom floats in the air and starts shooting her beams at her and stuff, and the crown appears on her head, like the magic crown. Did you see that? Like, I thought that was pretty cool. Like that was a detail I liked. Like, I guess she was the I don't know what it represented.
Queen of the Witch.
I don't of that coven, or if she was like someone bigger. Like, is she like, like they've got all kinds of. Marvel's got all kinds. She could have been Morgan Le Fay, for all I know, all that kind of shit. But I just like that kind of detail. But like, so I didn't. They still have Agatha's really vague, except that she also killed a fucking dog.
Yeah.
So you don't like. There's a lot of things you don't do.
But we come to find out she killed the dog because she's trying to trigger.
Yeah, but she killed a fucking dog. You know what I mean? It's like
dogs die.
But at the end of the day, they die, but they don't get. You don't kill them. So like that, I think hurts her as saying that she's
not a good person. She's not a good person. But I don't think she's a villain. I think she was drawn to this, or obviously, they really kind of.
Well, but is she drawn to this so that for her own
I was thinking she's
for her
trying
own selfish needs.
Yeah, is she trying to steal? Because it looks like she steals the powers of the other witches.
Right.
So it's like, oh, she wants to drain Wanda, but I guess maybe the problem is Wanda's too powerful.
I don't know if she. I don't know.
And, or maybe not even.
I don't know if she's trying to drain her either. I think
Yeah.
she just sees her as this real threat.
Yeah.
But then it's interesting because you're like, how come she noticed all of this and where's Doctor Strange? You know?
Yeah. He's the rabbit.
No, he's not, because that's her pet,
He
ate the fucking bird.
Strange was he was hungry.
That rabbit ate the bird.
He was hungry.
I mean, I assume that's who we're getting in the final episode.
Dude, you have flat out brought like magic pew pew bang bang now.
So the what's that guy's name? The director of Sword.
Oh, Hayworth.
So he's pushing the button, but I feel like he, when he lets her see Vision, he plants that one line in her head about bringing it back.
Yeah.
I think, but I don't think. Like everyone keeps saying, he's Mephisto. He's Mephisto.
No,
he's not. I think he was just trying to turn Vision back on, and he was trying to bait her into doing it, and she didn't. And then they reveal that that she created a new Vision, I guess.
Yeah.
And like you know how they until they did that, you saw how like Agatha's powers are purple, and Wanda's are red. But when she made the Vision, that was yellow.
Yeah.
Is that like some kind of like Infinity Stone deal there?
Because of her exposure to it? I don't know, man. And that's the thing is that that even deepens the mystery. Is like, okay, well, yeah, it's all chaos magic. Okay, cool, but it's real because we've been proven that what she's doing affects the real world. So, are there going to be two visions?
She said like transmutation.
Yeah,
she was describing some of the things Wanda has done.
Yeah. But on a very
showing
small
it on
scale.
the micro scale with the bird and the thing. So I don't know. I don't know what that Vision is, or if he's limited to her influence, like he can't inside the bubble or whatever. But now we have two Visions, and the other Vision is the one that I had reference to, the white one, the one that's like kind of like a reboot, blank slate one that they did in the West Coast Avengers. It's the John Byrne issues, where he's. And it was funny because they show somewhere online I saw they showed a panel or two from that storyline, and it was like, why are you all white? And he's like, well, I feel like a Vision is like a spectral thing, and like it was almost like this weird rationalization by the Vision himself about his appearance. And so he's kind of like this cold, unemotional. It's like Data when the motion chips turned off kind of thing, with no memories and no past, and so it's a start over thing. I think that maybe this is how they restore the Vision, is that he has put the robot back together and it's working, and they'll merge her version and the robot's. Yeah. She'll put his soul that she has recreated into the body. Maybe. I'm guessing. I assume you can't have two Visions running around. I am assuming that they're not going to kill her version off and then have this blank slate one for more than this episode or two. I don't know. Unless they're doing a season 2 of this, which I doubt.
Everyone keeps saying it. I'm like, but I don't think this was ever made to go. This was made to help begin the next phase of what they're doing.
Yeah, I think this is to jumpstart. I think if they wanted to do another season of something, they'll just pick 2 new characters from the Marvel line of stuff.
And this was an opportunity.
But they said, like, I think they said, or maybe I read somewhere, that she's going to get her own movie.
But this was an opportunity to take 2 characters that we know, but we really didn't have any time. You didn't get to spend any real meaningful time with.
They were never like the main characters.
No, and you give them the opportunity to fully flesh them out, and they've done a fucking fantastic job. Wanda's now basically the comic book version, power-wise, which is fucking crazy. And I guess next week we'll find out just how crazy. Because I'm still wondering what happens when she finds out those kids aren't real. But are they real?
Know. We don't know
because the way Agatha makes it seem is like you're doing all these things you shouldn't be able to do at the level you're doing them, because the type of magic that it takes to create even the simplest things take for what she's hundreds of years old to accomplish with any kind of relative ease, and Wanda's blowing all of that out of the park, which brings us to the end of the episode where she finally gets her name. They finally name her Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, but they made it like it's almost like that's an entity like the Phoenix Force.
Which I'm fine with because she is an entity like the Phoenix Force.
Which they showed a little bit in that when she was looking into the gem.
Yeah.
When they did the flashback thing. You saw that silhouette come
that
looked like
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. But it didn't show her.
Nope.
But it had the outline with the little pointed mask thing. That maybe that's the abstract entity of the Scarlet Witch, and
she's a Nexus being. She's as powerful as a Jean Grey or whatnot. So it makes sense for it to feel like that. Like you don't even like, and it explains all our. She's accidentally doing this based on just her emotional state.
So we only got this. This was the longest episode. It was 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the next one can't be at
least an hour.
At least an hour.
Yeah.
Maybe even longer, because not only do you have to resolve everything from this episode, Agatha, 2 visions coming at once almost.
The kids, Wanda, all this shit.
We had no Monica,
no
Pietro.
Jimmy Woo? What's up with Jimmy Woo?
Well, I don't know that he has much.
He's the only thing I care about.
I don't know that he has much to do.
He's learning of the card trick.
He's outside the bubble.
Yeah.
I think everyone
with
outside the bubble is a little. I think they're a little.
Yeah, you're gonna have all kinds. Listen, next episode's the pew pew shoot shoot bang bang episode.
Yeah. Plus our big surprise, like whoever that's gonna be. Which I guess it's just Doctor Strange.
I would love for him just to show up in the middle of all this and just go, everyone, stop. Snaps his fingers, sits everyone down, figures it out, fixes it, and walks out. It's like, I have no time for this shit.
That would be really funny.
No time.
If, like, he's just like this impatient guy.
Yeah.
He like literally just stops everything.
You've been doing this for what, 2 weeks? Jesus. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
But I think they're going the route where she might be more powerful than him. I mean, from just a state of pure power, not as a state of knowledge. Obviously, Stephen Strange is fucking, he can do all kinds of fucking crazy shit.
Yeah.
But Wanda, she's like, they might do the thing where Agatha does I came in going, what the fuck, very adversarial. But now that I see what's happening, like, listen, she might do like in the comics and start teaching Wanda, okay, this is how we do the basic shit. We're gonna put our socks on before we start fucking, running and shit.
I think but the way she's handled it up to this point doesn't lead for Wanda to want to.
Yeah.
Agree.
Like I said, it's been very adversarial.
Agree to being the
but you
going to the Daniel role and her being Miyagi.
But like you started off, but there's plenty of there's plenty of those kind of relationships and culture and shit where it starts off adversarial until it's like, oh, either understanding is like, if you look at it from Agatha's perspective, she's only heard tale of this kind of power. And obviously she's been around for hundreds of years. She's been fucked over by her own mother. Now, we don't know that much more about her backstory, but you can just kind of assess that she's basically walked in and found the holy grail of witch power. And maybe I don't
know if it's the Holy Grail or if it's the boogeyman.
That's
the
true.
Great,
that's true.
The harbinger of doom, or whatever, kind of thing.
Maybe Wanda's Mephisto.
No. Now you're really starting. Now you're really starting to piss me off.
It's going to be great because what we're getting is fantastic. It's not. It's exactly what. It's just a retelling of how things went in the comics, just contemporized, and it's really nice. It's well done, but all these crazy theories.
Well, it's not a retelling. It's they're picking and choosing,
but
a lot.
Wanda has her powers.
They Frankenstein.
It's the Wanda we know. It's the Agatha kind of this episode kind of showed us the Agatha that with the few people that fucking actually write that shit, you said yourself, like, you skipped over that shit. I think I know about Agatha Harkness just in, like, passing, just as a story of how Scarlet Witch came to be, sort of thing. Like, no, I spent no time reading any of this shit. Whatever Marvel presents to me in this show is my canon reality of who this character is. Because I'm not certainly going back to fucking read all that shit. I have the time for that nonsense. Just...
Well, they've rewritten her thing so many times.
Entertain
it can
me.
Be whatever you
Entertain me for 45 minutes on a fucking Friday. We're good. That's all I need. I do love now that it's basically come where, like, these Disney Plus shows are like individual comic book arcs. And then you'll have the movies, which will be like a fucking, the annual. Bring everything, all these different things together. And that's kind of cool because, like, this whole Wanda thing, by the time it's done from episode 1 to 9, right?
Yeah.
Is self-contained arc. And then they'll move on to whatever the Winter Soldier and Bucky do. And, I mean, Winter Soldier and Falcon.
This isn't, I don't think this is self-contained. I think this is...
No, but like... It reverbs into the Doctor Strange. It reverbs into where it goes from here.
Spider-Man.
Oh, we keep hoping.
There's no hoping.
We keep hoping.
There's no hoping.
But I think that
Doctor Strange is in Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the next movie.
Yeah.
They've cast 3 fucking Spider-Men in that movie, and they've cast villains from all 3 fucking versions of Spider-Man in that movie.
Sir, Tom Holland has told me that he's the only Spider-Man in that movie, and he doesn't know where all these wonderful ideas come from. Because nobody kind of gave him the Iggy that the world knows.
Well, they're in the middle of filming it right now,
yeah.
So he knows more he's talking.
Yeah, of course he does. He also still looks like he has a frog in his mouth at all times.
I don't know what that means.
If you look at Tom Holland, when he's just sitting there with his emotionless face, he looks like he has a tiny little frog in his mouth.
I don't think he has an emotionless face. I don't know where this... Wait, hold on. Where does all this come from?
Internet memes?
No, your dumb fucking aggression towards Tom Holland.
I love Tom Holland.
No, it sounds like you're fucking jealous.
I have no aggression, Tom. I am jealous. He's like fucking Spider-Man, for God's sakes. He's fucking...
You understand that's not real.
Spider-Man is real to me.
So,
it's still real to me.
So, what else? That's pretty much it. I don't think they didn't. It's funny, they told a lot, but it wasn't like...
Okay, here. So...
Like, I get it. She had witch abilities.
Yeah.
That she didn't even know she had because they were so minor.
Yeah.
Maybe or maybe not. I don't even know that they established which it was. She kept a bomb from exploding. Is that what they're hinting at? Because it wasn't clear.
I think it was very like
it wasn't clear.
I think as by the way, fuck that scene. Fucking that, and when she's like, those are really well acted and well like put together like moments. Like when you see her breaking when she sees Vision, when she like goes down and like physically touches him and she can't feel his presence. Like, that's when you're like, oh, shit. And then they go to the fucking plot of land that he had, I guess that
Did you cry like a
I did
pussy?
not. The wife did.
Oh.
But she's also pregnant. So
right. It doesn't count.
Yeah. So, but it was, I mean, for Marvel, it was because it's like one of those things where Wanda's never had any time in any of these movies to grieve. So you see that process. Dude, when her parents, that whole thing, and they're under, oh my goodness. And then Agatha's just sitting there going like, oh, well, I can kind of see, oh, she's putting it together. Because at first I was like, when she first started, I turned to Natalia and I'm like, I don't think Agatha knows where she got her powers. I didn't think she knew about the Infinity Stones. I don't think she knew about nothing. I think she thinks that Wanda's this witch and that she's just playing coy. And she refuses to, like, break to tell, because Agatha's like, how are you fucking doing this? And she refused, and she's getting pissed off and getting aggravated. And then I thought that through the whole time, Agatha was going to be like, oh, I get it, you're not a witch. And it's the reverse. Agatha knows everything. She's trying to figure out how Wanda's doing all this shit. And then comes to the conclusion, like, oh, you're fucking broken, but you have this... You have access to this chaos magic that no one else has ever had. And with your powers with the Infinity Stone and all this shit, you're capable of all this nonsense. Including, from what we're led to believe, creating life out of the ethereal. because I guess the twins are just poof. She just poofed him into existence because we saw her poof Vision into existence. Because the second she left the Shield facility or Sword facility without Vision, I went, "Oh my gosh, she created Vision all by himself." Like that's crazy. And then
I
they
was
show
still
you do
confused. I didn't know if she went back to take him later until they showed that she created him.
Yeah.
And that's the weird thing. Like he like framed her for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he only showed the footage of her like breaking the glass and flying down there. He didn't show like that. When you think about it, it's not like we saw her stealing the body.
Like a robbers in the back. That
Right.
was kind of creepy with them all separated and all that shit. Oh my
It was
God.
meant to be like.
Yeah, they did a really.
It was
good
meant
job.
to feel gruesome and gross.
It really, really did a good job because I was just like, you're sitting here watching her and you're like, God damn, she's now and like Wanda now is rewatching her parents die, rewatching Vision die, rewatching all this shit. I'm like, this is like
Yeah, but it's also like as if you were. It could be like you're re-traumatizing her again, or this is therapy. It's like
that which was what
it's
Agatha
like
was
you're
going
sitting
to,
and
like,
fucking
yeah.
What did she say? The only way forward is to go back.
Yeah, you've already been through this once. How hard can it be?
Right.
You know. So it's just, but we never seen what happened when the fucking Stark missile came in and they had to sit there for days.
I feel like there's this whole other thing that we're gonna get in the next episode, like the multiverse stuff. Like either she's already cracked it or she hasn't.
Yeah.
Like and now you're like thinking, well, if she didn't bring her brother over, if that was Agatha,
yeah, then Agatha has access to the Nexus,
or he's just not from another universe.
Who the fuck is this guy?
But the guy runs pretty fucking fast for someone that's not Quicksilver.
And Agatha can't just reproduce those kind of powers.
Not a. It doesn't seem like she'd be.
She was showing Wanda about these powers. She was doing it on a minuscule level, but she was also explaining this takes time. I can't imagine.
Well, she's like, oh, you didn't see all the fucking runes in the room? It's like
basic.
And then like only the witch that cast those has power here. You don't know that?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah. So.
And that's what I think. I feel it mirrors the comics a lot, where it's probably just like the same situation. Like, oh, you have all this power, but you have no idea how to wield it. Which to this point, I think we can safely assume that until the point that WandaVision started, the power she was wielding in any of these movies, based on her emotional state, but was only minuscule to what she's capable of, and she didn't know any better. The closest she ever really came to like being what we saw in this show was when she took on Thanos.
So what do you think? You think that Doctor Strange cleans up the mess, and takes her with him, and it's like you gotta stay in my house
because he sees how powerful she is,
or does he fucking just put her like into some fucking suspended animation and I'll deal with this later?
He hulks her?
Not hulks her. Hulk was sent to that dimension.
Yeah.
They fucking remember they put her in a coma or something.
That's true. They did.
In the comic books.
In the comics, they did. But I don't know, man. I'd like to think the former, like it's Doctor Strange. He's gonna be like, okay, listen, I'm gonna help you. You're gonna come with me. We're gonna train. We're gonna figure this out. But Doctor Strange from the comic books, kind of more the latter. Like, I'll deal with this shit later. I got way too much on my plate. But again, it depends on how we lead into that movie. Maybe
because it doesn't seem like.
Does that movie start on fire?
It does. Well, hold on. It doesn't seem like. It seems like this series still has to do something really big, which hasn't happened yet. To have a multiverse of madness.
Where's our No More Mutants moment? Because it's coming.
Stop saying that.
But it's the moment. It's just that big moment, and I think that's what we're going to have to find. The next episode's the last episode.
You would think.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to happen.
You would think.
I mean, they've hinted towards so much. It
doesn't seem like they have enough time to do what they've got to do left.
Yeah, unless there's that 10th episode you were talking about.
Well, I mean, I don't know, because maybe that Feige thing wasn't real, saying that the last 3 episodes were all an hour long.
Well, apparently nothing. It hasn't held true yet.
No, because it went from like 38 minutes to 45 minutes. neither that's. They're each episode's getting longer, but they're not. We haven't had an hour episode yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if this last episode's 2 hours. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they made it like kind of movie length, like 90 minutes or something, because it feels like there's a lot of ground to cover. You got, not only do you have to resolve Agatha and Wanda, you have to kind of resolve Wanda and the kids and Pietro and two Visions and Monica,
Jimmy Woo.
I mean, there's nothing to resolve with Jimmy Woo or the fucking smartass big tit girl. What's her name? From Thor. What's her name?
I
just forgot. I blanked on her name.
Darcy.
Or even like, I mean, the head of Sword. There's no. You have to resolve what he is or what's he doing or anything. Yeah. You don't have to wrap his story up. But I mean, some of the stuff you gotta kind of do. The kids, the Visions, her, Agatha, and Monica all need some level of resolution.
There needs to be a wrap up for a lot of that stuff because some of it we know maybe or possibly can wait until the Doctor Strange movie, but some of it can't. Some of it needs to be wrapped up because,
Well, not only does something have to be wrapped up, but something else has to go terribly sideways because you don't have a Multiverse of Madness issue yet. Yeah. There's no issue. And the next movie is Spider-Man, which is going to be about Spider-Man. Whether there's 3 Spider-Men in it or not, you can't have the Catalyst be in that movie. He's got too much going on with his all this like Sinister Six stuff, and him being outed and being accused of murder and being accused of sicking these drones on humans. I mean, not humans, but the civilians and stuff like that. There's like too much that he's got to deal with in his own movie for them to also be like, oh, well, here's where we'll fucking fuck shit up.
I was thinking when she's in Jersey, which was her first mistake, but when she's in Jersey and she
so what did Vision buy a plot of land?
It looks like that,
and was planning for them to like just basically build a house there and live there.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just chosen some suburbia kind of off the map kind of
really like off the grid.
Yeah. Because that's where they were at, and they were in hiding, and they just wanted to be left alone. So that comes in line thinking that. I'm thinking when she's lying in that plot, and she's just really starting to lose her mind, is when the Catalyst, which, listen, I'm not saying Mephisto. I'm just saying that whatever led to her exploding in power like that, there was a push. And maybe it was the grief and maybe all that, but I think some being went, now's my time. And that's where we'll find out. Maybe not, though. It's like they keep I
feel like that's another element to add that is unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's going to just clutter.
What's already a pretty big docket to fill.
Yeah, there's already enough mess that needs to be wrapped up.
Yeah.
You have to wrap some of it up. You can't have them.
And if she's going to get a movie, you can wrap some of that stuff
up. Because it's not on the slate. It's like that movie wouldn't come out for 3 fucking years.
Yeah.
By then, the storyline's wrapped up.
And we'll have already forgotten.
Her movie is going to be something down the road that's just like an evolution from where she is now.
It's be like a Wandavision movie where they're together now.
I don't think she's going to be with Vision after this.
You think there'll be a Vision?
Yeah, because there's 2 right now. You're not killing. You're not. You've killed Vision twice. You now have 2 Visions. I think we end up with 1 Vision, and I feel like that Vision is going to be a combination because you now have 2 Visions where one, the White Vision, is going to be a blank slate.
Yeah.
He has no memories, he has no past, he has no history. And the one from the one she created has no memories or past before his inception date.
Yeah.
When she created him. She didn't like instill him with memories like, I don't remember. Well, I'm an Avenger? What are you talking about? I have no memories before coming here.
Yeah.
So I feel like whatever Vision we end up with is going to be estranged from her.
Yeah.
She's going to be like, he's going to be like, I acknowledge that you and I have something, but I'm not that person anymore.
Do you know what I kept thinking? I kept thinking they were going to have his White Vision, but when he turned on, the Ultron side of him was going to come
There's
out.
that too, but again, it's like everyone's like saying there's this Ultron sub thing going on, but it's again, I feel like
That's something you can explore in a later fucking series, though.
No, but it's like the field's too cluttered.
Yeah.
It's like you have so much mess that
Yeah.
at the ninth hour,
Yeah.
or the 11th hour, or whatever you want to call it, the 23rd hour. I don't know what time frame you want to be in, but now you're going to add Ultron to the mix.
Yeah.
Also, and you haven't cracked the multiverse yet, which is going to be like the thing, and so
there's a lot of heavy lifting this last episode has to do.
Right, with what's already been established,
Yeah.
let alone the fact that I'm just saying there's a major catalyst that still has not happened, or if it happened when she was in that plot of land.
Yeah.
And it just happened, and we're going to say, "Oh, she cracked the multiverse." Then, like, just dismiss it. But I don't think that she did yet.
Yeah.
I don't think that she did yet.
No, I don't think so.
Unless at the beginning of the next episode. Here's what I can posit to you: is that let's just pretend at the beginning of this episode they do the thing where they kind of go back and they go, "Well, while this was happening, all this was happening also."
Yeah.
And when she fucking flips out, you see in like the Toby-verse a crack open and he gets sucked through. And you see over here in the X-verse during a fucking X-Men mission, all of a sudden Quicksilver disappears. And you do a few of those and you show one or two more characters you're going to bring over. Maybe it's a Hugh Jackman or Professor X or Fantastic Four. But whatever it is, you hint at those things and most of them don't get addressed. But now you understand that these people got sucked through some kind of wormholes that opened when she did this.
Yeah.
And maybe that's how she created this vision. I don't know. Maybe she drew from bits and pieces of other universe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But other than that, she still hasn't lost her shit and cracked the multiverse yet, which is what we're kind of waiting for.
I think,
or at least you and I are, based on the fucking title of that movie.
Yeah.
The Doctor Strange movie.
And the fact that she's one of the few characters that Marvel has that is currently has an established MCU presence that's capable of doing something like that. It's not like you could have a Jean Grey or anyone else do that because
no, but it's like it has to happen.
It has to happen because everything else is already in place.
Right. You know just from the few things, even if you want to discount the Spider-Man movie, even though we know that's a multiverse movie, and as much as your boy has tweeted it isn't going to be, that we're getting Spider-Man in it and we're getting villains from other universes in it. The next fucking movie is called The Multiverse of Madness.
Exactly.
Period. Done. And it's Doctor Strange. And they say that Wanda's in it too.
Yep.
Like she's slated to be in that. And forget the fact that they said Doctor Strange is going to be in the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
So that they all continue through. We still haven't done the thing to lead to that. This hasn't, whatever's happening in what's the name of the
Westview.
town? Whatever's happening in Westview hasn't spilled over into the rest of the fucking world yet. That's what I feel the next two movies that follow this storyline are require to happen still.
Come on, Wanda, you got to crack that universe like an egg.
Right. It feels like whatever's coming requires something to still happen. It hasn't happened yet. Unless, like I said, they show that like while this was happening, this was also happening, which they could do at the beginning of the next episode.
Well, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long week.
It's funny. I didn't even realize how late it was. But like all of a sudden I looked up from what I was doing. And I realized it was already like 1:30 in the morning. So like, I only have 90 minutes before WandaVision is on. I'm obligated to stay up. What am I going to do? Go to sleep? So I stayed up and watched it at like 3:01 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
3:02 in the morning.
I did not.
Their timing on these fucking like when they cut to like when they cut to the end credits and you realize that the show's over. The last like 3 weeks, you're like, it just feels like they're just jerking the fucking rug out from under you.
I have, and Marvel has never given me pause. I know that next episode is gonna be crazy. So.
I you know,
we just
I think we're just sitting here and we're kind of like we're being accountants.
Yeah.
And we're like trying to like account for every decimal here and be like, we're just writing down, you know, that all this is coming due.
Yeah.
there's a tab, and like we're like, all right, this is due, this is due, this is due, and so I think we've kind of covered it all. I mean, sure, we'll see Jimmy Woo in the episode, but and again, like, I think we keep forgetting who's the fucking person he was going to find.
That's right.
There was like a witness protection thing, and I feel like,
Oh my god! Every time you move that,
yeah, it's funny. I got a creaky
yeah.
mic arm here. But why? Unless it was just a really random way to get him into the storyline, and then to ignore the fact that he was there checking on someone that had disappeared, that they were like trying to be in touch with. There's got to be some significance to that, because there's been significance to everything so far.
You know.
So who's the witness?
You know who it is?
That was stashed in Westview, New Jersey.
Mephisto.
No, fuck you. I knew you were gonna say that. No, but who was that guy?
I know who it was. It's Howard the Duck. That's how
who's-
they're gonna bring Howard the Duck in.
Howard the Duck's been brought in.
Oh, that's right.
He's been in Guardians.
and he was in Infinity and in Endgame.
Yeah, they showed him like
Yeah.
he's one of the fucking characters. So maybe he's still on Earth now. Maybe he never left.
There's a fucking. So we know if the last episode directed by James Gunn, because we'll never. Nathan Fillion as a tree. Yeah, no, that I don't know. You're right. There is some significance to that. We just got
There has to be, only because they've never like written something in this. Anytime they do something, there's a reason.
Even brought that up. When was the last time they even brought it up?
They didn't, and like when they were accounting for people on the board,
Yeah.
you know, they were like, "Oh, this is this person, this is this person." When they were like assigning, like, "Oh, in real life, this person is so and so." Remember, Agatha didn't have anything on her picture, but they never said who he was looking for, or that, "Oh, we found the guy I was looking for." Maybe it's what's her name's character, the blonde. Remember the kind of bitchy blonde that used to be in Buffy? You probably didn't watch Buffy. The one that played the demon girl in Buffy.
Oh. I know who you're talking about. I can't think of it.
She was in like an episode or two.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Remember she was talking to her when the radio was going?
Yeah.
Now, what's the significance of that? Unless, like, why cast somebody of significance?
Yeah.
You know, you know, you're maybe you're seeing things everywhere because they've got you doing that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, why would you just cast her in a random part if there wasn't something to it? Like,
Just like a
she's
weird
gonna
guest
be something.
appearance.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, I don't know.
It's interesting. I guess we'll find out on Friday. Or some of us will find out at 3:30 in the or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, but that's technically Friday.
Yeah, it's still technically Friday, yeah. Man, it's a long week away. And then
I'm curious what the numbers have been. Like
how do they go about that? Just downloads, or
yeah, they can. They can track what you're playing through your app.
Yeah, that's true.
So they have a really good idea of how this is done, and it's probably, I assume it's been gangbusters for them. And that
I can tell you, there's a lot of people I know, my friend Kevin included, who was like, he watched those first 2 episodes, and he was like, "I'm done with Marvel. I can't do this." And I was like, "Hold on, make it to episode 4, and you're gonna." And now he told me the other day when I saw it, I was like, "This is the best thing Marvel's ever done."
yeah, but even if people quit after the second one,
Yeah,
they all had to come back.
Yeah.
It's not like they didn't hear on the social media or
this
from their
become
friends.
This has become pop culture. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Like Mandalorian set the standard for bringing back like weekly episodic kind of television and make you excited for it. But WandaVision has, holy shit.
Well, the interesting thing is that they've literally, I don't know if they just took a chance and said, "What the hell," or if when the first season of Mandalorian hit, Disney wrote Marvel a blank check and said, "Just give us weekly TV." Because if you look at the schedule,
Yeah.
I sent you that schedule.
Yeah, it's all through the rest of the year.
It's like every week for the rest of the year, there's something booked, whether it's an episode of some TV show. I think after some of those TV shows, there's like
Movie.
there's like a making of kind of thing
yeah.
for that season. And then there's movies also. So, but every week is booked through December into January. So
it's a good move.
But like you don't do that unless you already knew.
Yeah.
You already knew that this was going to be the I don't know how you commit to it without so I think like maybe
well
first season of Mandalorian did so well for them. They're like, all right, Marvel, just run with it because you guys are already like you already have an established successful thing. Mandalorian is basically like
a reboot.
It's like the Iron Man for Star Wars now.
Yeah.
So they're starting over. It feels like.
No more Gina though.
I don't care. I don't care either way. Like I don't care what she's doing on social media. I don't give a shit. She's not wearing hoods and burning crosses, and she's not getting tattoos.
No, she's just an idiot.
And she's not getting swastika tattoos and stuff.
She's making bad comparisons and doing bad social media.
She's dumb.
Yeah,
she's dumb. She's a bad business person that like thinks she's a free speech fucking flag bearer when she's just a dumb piece of shit that fucking ruined her own career.
Yep.
Like go do your Ben Shapiro project now.
Yep.
That's cool.
No one's gonna watch that.
Good for you. You'll never get an action figure out of that, and your residual checks will suck. You could have been in the fucking Star Wars universe forever. You got multiple warnings. All you had to do was say, fuck it. You know what? They require me not to be a fucking total piece of shit on Instagram. Maybe I'll try not to be a total piece of shit. But instead of doubling down and playing victim and censorship, when it's like, no, you represent a company that's way bigger than you will ever be individually.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, get to stepping. And she didn't like it, and they told her to go fucking take a walk. It's not like the spin-off show she was getting in was called the Cara Dune show.
No.
So they can just put some other badass chick. It's not like the Star Wars universe isn't littered with badass chicks.
Mm-hmm. Just pick one.
Yeah, just pick one or create a new one. Yeah. It doesn't require...
Which is all she was. She was just created out of thin air.
Right. So she could disappear into thin air. You know?
Yeah. No, Mandalorian, it's great because it's just all these characters that were in these movies for so long that made Disney billions of dollars now have the opportunity to be really fleshed out and fully realized on these Disney Plus shows.
Didn't make Disney billions of dollars.
Well, Marvel,
Disney. Disney. You're talking about which one are you talking about? Because are you talking about
Marvel.
The Mandalorian?
Marvel.
Oh, see,
Marvel,
we're in The Mandalorian, and then you never said Marvel again.
Oh no, well, yeah.
This is like before when we're fucking talking about one thing, and also you're talking about another, and I still think we're talking about the first thing. God damn it!
You gotta catch up, man. You gotta catch up. I move at a pace.
Yeah, but
I don't even know what pace I move at.
If you lost me, you lost them.
I've already lost myself. I spent most of my day trying to catch up to myself, buddy. But no, I'm really excited, and WandaVision has really proved that fucking whatever deal that Kevin Feige made with the devil, not Mephisto, the real devil, bro, it's working, because their missteps are so fucking rare, man. The only way that you could misstep WandaVision at this point.
You know what a misstep is for them?
Captain Marvel?
No, I guess, but it still made $1 billion.
Exactly. Just off the force of everything else.
So when a movie still makes you, let's say $800 million in profit, and elevates the stature of an IP, like Captain Marvel, no matter what you want to say.
Yeah. It's a $1 billion IP now.
Was never even an Iron Man level. Yeah. And Iron Man was never Spider-Man level. You know what I mean?
No. Listen, people forget when Iron Man first came out, we were all just some of us, I was just like...
Well, you looked at it, you laughed and go, well, that's all Marvel has left.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, and the X-Men are all owned by someone else for entertainment, right?
I remember only looking forward to the Captain America one because I was like, oh, thank God we can forget about that 90s shit. I wasn't thinking that it was going to be good. I just went, I didn't think you could do Captain America.
I wasn't worried about anything being good after Iron Man. I figured after they made Iron Man,
But this was all before Iron Man came out because they were announced it was going to be Iron Man, it was going to be a Hulk, and it was going to be Captain America, and then Thor. I think did Thor come later?
I think Thor was the last one they made.
Yeah,
of the originals.
Of the originals, yeah. And I remember when Thor's what really sold me because Iron Man was fantastic, but you could easily have went like, well, Robert Downey Jr. was just back, and you were like, this is great.
Yeah, but hold on a second. Was Robert Downey Jr. anything originally? He was never an A-list actor before he was a junkie.
Yeah, but I was a kid growing up with the 80s movies, so, I knew who Robert Downey Jr.
He's like
was.
the guy that threw a Slurpee on someone's head in, like, Weird Science. He was like a bully. It wasn't like he was the leading man. Like, he did Chaplin, and that was it. And you're like, yeah, but he did one movie where he was great, and we don't even know if he remembers making it because he was probably on drugs the whole time.
He didn't.
He's uninsurable,
Yeah.
So
Iron Man was good. Iron Man was better than good.
I'm just like crediting that to him.
Yeah.
In hindsight, yes, but no one was racing to see Robert Downey Jr.
No,
he was not a draw.
No, but he made that movie.
Yeah.
And then Incredible Hulk came out. I liked Incredible Hulk. I know you liked it. It was so-so. It didn't do as good as Iron Man. Captain America came. I love the first Captain America movie. And I know I might be in the minority considering.
It's fine. I have my gripes.
Yeah,
I have gripes like he was like in the war for like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
he's like he had a
They went the other route where he was just like a mascot of the war.
Well, no, that's fine.
Yeah,
but then eventually when he gets to the war, it was like he did like 6 months of like fighting. He was barely
towards the
involved,
end
and it was all montage, and it was and it wasn't very gritty. Like you could have told a real World War II movie and shown, when
but they weren't taking those chances back
when
then.
Wonder Woman, they wouldn't even show a swastika.
Yeah,
they wouldn't even show a swastika.
They weren't taking any of those chances back.
And at least Wonder Woman,
you
had that fucking kind of gritty trench warfare stuff.
No man's land, buddy.
Yeah.
But when
because Captain America, you're like ideally like he is a soldier who killed people in the war.
Yeah,
that guy is not Batman. Captain America over the years would kill people because he was a soldier. He had guns. He had a shield, but he also shot a lot of fucking people.
Yeah. I didn't fully buy into Marvel though until Thor, and the reason was because when they first announced Thor, I went, "That's all great. They're not going to get this right." What's going to happen when we see this? What are they going to do with the Rainbow Road? What are they going to do with the Rainbow Road? How are they going to make that not the most ridiculous nonsense?
Rainbow Bridge.
And
Rainbow Bridge, not road.
Oh, I'm thinking of Mario Kart. Sorry. My brain's somewhere else. But like Rainbow Road. How the fuck are they going to make that ridiculous? How are they going to make any of this nonsense work? And I saw the movie and I'm like, all right, Marvel. All right. Fair enough.
Well, they hired a guy that's directed like 6 Shakespearean movies. Like when I say Shakespearean, I mean like they were Shakespeare.
Yeah,
they were Shakespeare stories.
Yeah,
not like Shakespearean as if like in the feel of. No, they were movies off Shakespeare scripts. So they kind of set that tone.
It was. I love the first.
It's good. It's like you watch it again. Yeah. It's slow, and it's like the thing at the end. He's fighting this slow walking creature that shoots a big power beam, and it's slow, and it's in like one of those dusty one road towns.
Yeah, you're waiting for like a graboid to show up.
Yeah, it's one of those dusty one road towns. It's
like, where's Kevin Bacon?
It's really low. It's got this low feel to it.
Yeah.
That like by the time you get to the third Thor movie where he's on alien planets and spaceships and
all
craziness,
kinds of crazy shits
and like
happening,
the battle in Asgard and stuff, the scope is way bigger. It's for gods and whatever. It felt more appropriate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in the first Thor, he's really not even. He's not even Thor yet. Barely.
I only had one problem with the first Thor movie. Really, I was like, so let me get this straight. You pissed off your dad. He throws you out of Asgard. He's mad. He's going to bring you back. He's just mad because you're a dickhead. You learn humility through the eyes of Natalie Portman. Like that's all it took was just to look an Earth girl in the eyes and go, oh shit. Oh yeah, I got it now. Here's my human side.
I think you're like way oversimplified that.
But it kind of felt like that though. It was like they tried, but it was kind of like you were there for like a weekend, man.
Yeah.
It's like, because at least in Captain America they do the montage that covers like 6 or 9 months. Like in Thor, it's literally like 3 days, and you're like, come on, man, take a little longer than that. This guy's been alive for thousands of years.
Like,
That was my only issue. I was like, all right, I get Natalie Portman's hot and intelligent, but she's not, she's not making a 1,000-year-old, god like change his viewpoint on everything in less than 48 hours. It just seems a little ridiculous to me. Although the scene with him screaming "another" as he throws fucking coffee on the ground is still one of my best things ever. I love that. And seeing like the Darcy, who she was great in that movie. Seeing her now, I don't know if they're gonna give her superpower. Who knows?
No.
Oh, they just gave her that escape outfit that everyone thirsted over for a week.
No, they only passed through it once.
Yeah. Monica Rambeau went in and out like she's going to the bathroom 10 times.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know, man. I'm looking forward. It's going to be a lot. We don't have a choice. We're getting the moment. We have to get the moment next week.
I assume so.
I mean,
I assume 2 things. We're not getting another bad guy.
no. It's too late for that.
If we do, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be
Yeah.
too much. Doctor Strange is probably who's showing up. I think maybe there's been some red herrings in terms of like that Paul Bettany stuff of, it's going to be a big Luke Skywalker level surprise. I don't know, man.
I don't know. Listen.
Can you add another character at this point?
I love Benedict Cumberbatch, and I love him as Doctor Strange. That's not a Luke Skywalker type.
What's what I'm saying? I don't.
Yeah.
But maybe people feel it is.
Maybe it's Luke Skywalker. Why the fuck not?
That'd be funny.
Just why the fuck not, man? I mean, you're talking magic and all kinds of. They could conjure and do all kinds of weird, ridiculous shit. We're talking about multiverses. Fucking bring in an X-wing. It's like the Patton Oswalt Parks and Rec speech where he it's like when Disney first bought Marvel in like 2012. And he did this big monologue in a Parks and Rec episode. It was meant as a filibuster, and he just filibustered. He just sat there. It's a pretty famous thing you find on YouTube for like 11 minutes about the Avengers meeting the Skywalkers and this huge grand space Avengers with Thanos and all this. And it was just a joke. It was a joke. But like I saw an article like 2 weeks ago where Disney came out and goes, "We're not merging Star Wars and Disney. I mean, Star Wars and Marvel. We're not doing it. That's not what this is about." And because fans are like, "But the Mandalorian's doing well, and this is doing well, and you have the IPs, and this is..." No, we're not doing it. I still think eventually, down in the future, way from now.
It can't. That was a long time ago. In a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, but then now we're to Rey. Maybe Rey's now.
No. That's not a long time ago. That's like 30 years ago.
I don't know. But that's what I said. But then when you do light speed travel and everything like that, listen, if you
have a better odds of hear that?
Yeah, I do. I know it's been annoying me the entire time.
You have better odds of getting. It wouldn't be in the Star Wars universe, but in the Marvel universe, you have better odds of them having to fight predators or aliens.
I'm for that as well,
because those are also under their fucking ownership now,
wait.
as opposed to, and you will get in the comic book soon. Like really soon. Like the rights to all that stuff is gone from Dark Horse. So Marvel now has the publishing rights to do the comic books for Predator and Aliens. So obviously, how can you not have like, stories with like the Guardians of the Galaxy fighting aliens and predators?
I just want to state with that happening, are we finally going to get an actual really good Predator, a really good Aliens movie? Because we haven't had one since.
I feel like we're going to expanding both those universes.
Yeah. Can we just forget about the last 2 decades of those movies?
Yeah, I feel like they're like, well, do we just kind of like slowly transition the Brood into aliens, the Xenomorphs?
Now, yeah, I would because that's what they were anyway.
They were a total rip-off of that.
Rip-off, man.
A complete rip-off of that.
May as well, brother. May as well. Well, shit, man. So we're going to find out in fucking 6 days here.
Yep. Hopefully nothing leaks. If anything leaks, I'm going to have a really hard
time. Nothing has
avoiding
leaked to this point. And
Evan Peters leaked a little bit.
Well, I refuse to engage with anybody. I'm just like, I'm waiting for Friday, man.
Yeah, blinders.
Like on Thursday on some of the news sites, I'm like, oh, WandaVision quasi-sport, and I'll just like go right past it.
Yeah, it's funny because usually I read that stuff, but lately I've been like avoiding.
No,
it.
I love the way that they've taken our expectations and just played with them through an entire fucking 8 episodes now, an entire 8 weeks, and now next week, like we spent fucking an hour talking about, we don't have any fucking clue what's gonna happen on Friday.
I mean, we have theories and ideas.
Yeah, of where they've been going,
and we know based on like the title of.
Yeah,
Dude, you know what I keep forgetting?
what?
I keep forgetting who's directing that fucking Doctor Strange movie.
Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
I know.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Which also makes like I kind of see the tie now in the Spider-Man and the Tobey, and it's Raimi's version of that, and maybe Raimi. You heard the thing where maybe they
finally gets to make that 4th movie.
Maybe Fox is going to revitalize the original Spider-Man trilogy. Let Raimi and Tobey and all them do their 4th movie.
Yeah.
Again, I'm all for that because we don't get. Here's what we don't get. It's kind of like this new Superman show. We don't get the middle age.
Yeah.
If you ever get it, it's like a future story.
Yeah, Ben Affleck,
or like,
Batman.
But it's no.
Because he'd been Batman forever.
But
he'd already gone through Robins.
They've done like a bunch of versions of like old man Batman stuff.
That's fair. And
Dark Knight stuff.
That's fair.
Like there's been like 3 Dark Knight series now.
Yeah.
But like they never have really told a ongoing canon story of
an older superhero
of Spider-Man in his 40s.
Yeah.
Like Tobey Maguire's in his fucking 40s. Maybe closer to his 50s at this point.
Beating up paparazzi.
I don't know how old he is. I don't want to look it up. But like let's say he's in his 40s. The same thing with this Superman thing.
Yeah.
It's like he's been married and has like 16-year-old twins. It's like we've never had that story in an ongoing continuity type thing. We get it in like a 3-issue series or a glimpse into like a future story in a 1-issue or in an annual or a mini series, but never as like this is it. This is how it is now. These characters don't age like that in comic books. So to get it in a movie is kind of cool, or in a TV series. So I hope they are doing this where Raimi is kind of like maybe helping them a little with the Tobey stuff in Spider-Man, because eventually they're going to. Here's the deal with Sony. Sony wants a Spider-Man to appear in their fucking like their Venom movies and their Craven movies, whatever.
Yeah.
So Marvel's like, all right, you can have the Tobey Spider-Man again. We keep the kid in our stuff. Now we both have Spider-Man. Everyone's happy. And now Raimi does this Doctor Strange movie.
Or you know what though?
And then goes on and does the Spider-Man 4.
Or maybe it's Andrew Garfield Spider-Man in these Venom movies.
I don't think so.
Oh, I don't know. You know what's crazy though? And
he's the least successful of them all.
Well,
I think if Sony was going to bite on this idea, it would be like bring Tobey back, bring Sam back, give Sam the freedom that they took away from him in the 3rd movie, and let him make his own fucking deal again.
Yeah. It's just crazy to me that we're talking about all this stuff, and we're going to continue talking because it's going to get crazy. We're going to get to the point where you're running out of the main stuff, and you're just making great shows out of the B and C level stuff. And obviously you speak more of this than I can, but I remember as a kid, man, you pick up Wizard magazine and they fantasy cast a movie, and you'd be like, "Well, this is awesome," but they're never going to make a superhero movie that works like this.
Right. Now they do.
And now it's the business in Hollywood.
Right.
It is Hollywood. Like, fucking A, man. Movies that don't feature superheroes don't get watched.
It's so funny. It's kind of like now. I mean, not everyone's programmed this way, wired this way, but there's so many people that have grown up on it over the last, like between Star Wars and now Marvel, that I think every actor wants to land a Star Wars or Marvel gig. Almost like every pro wrestler eventually wants to get to the WWE. Yeah. It's like the WWE.
And 20 years ago, if you'd asked an A-list actor in Hollywood to be a superhero, I mean, they'd have looked at you sideways.
Well, it's funny because you look and it's like a couple of them were like really passed because of the commitment.
Yeah.
But now you talk to anyone that's made that commitment, for Marvel at least.
Yeah.
DC, another story. But for
Yeah.
Marvel at least, you don't see too many people complaining about that commitment.
No, because even like the Chris Evans interview where he was like he had passed him like 2 or 3 times because like, I didn't want to make that long-term commitment.
Yeah.
No one knew how it was going to turn out. You know,
And then he says it's the best thing I ever did.
yeah, but it took him.
And Downey, you kept thinking he was done.
Yeah.
And he kept signing on for more shit because they were like, not only was it that he loves doing this stuff and that the paydays are really fucking good.
Especially for Downey.
Really fucking good. But also the fact that they kept making it fun to do them, where it was like, all right, you don't do the Iron Man movies anymore. That are just like 90% of the shooting schedule is you.
Yeah.
Now it's ensemble movies and like even...
Yeah, you show up for 3 days.
So you're in the Captain America movie. Yeah. It's called Civil War. It's you versus Captain America. But how many days of shooting do you really have?
Yeah.
And like in this Avengers movie, there's so many characters. How much is you? And half of what's you is a CGI thing, and we shoot all of your things in a close-up mask anyways.
Yeah.
So and we're like, by the end of it, you don't even have to wear that armor.
Yeah,
we'll
you're just wearing a fucking suit.
A suit with dots on.
Yeah.
So that's why like you think like what's his name, Thor. Hemsworth, it's like that dude's been doing it a while. Like he's probably surpassed or coming close to surpassing the amount of appearances that Downey or Evans have made in the movies. Yeah. And Downey never had to be in great shape. Evans did, but I mean he's got to be jacked to be Thor. Luckily, he's taking roles like Hulk Hogan as his other movies.
Jesus,
but you don't hear about him going, this is it and I'm done. It's like, no, we're doing through Thor 4 and I'm going to be in the Guardians are in his movie. I think they've brought all the Guardians into this movie, at least for the beginning of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll be in the Guardians movie or if he'll have moved on by then, but I mean, it's just like, it's the same thing. It's like that third Thor movie. It wasn't a Thor movie. It was a buddy cop movie with him and Ruffalo.
Yeah.
So you're bringing all the friends you made over these Marvel movies. They all get along, and now they get to work together on these movies. They're not like on their own projects and having to like have the weight of the world, and they're carrying it. And every shooting day is just them, and so they have less shooting days. They get to work with the people they're friends with. They get to goof around, and the paydays are ridiculous.
And we get to not get paid to talk about it. Bring on that sponsorship money.
I would shill for Marvel every day if they paid me.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I shill for them anyways.
Like fucking Kevin Smith does on his podcast. Just lick the fucking taint. Man.
I can't cry like that though. Over everything.
Yeah, no, I can't. I can't either.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to have like heart attacks or some shit. I don't know.
I'm fat enough to get one. I've probably gained 10 pounds in the last week. I'm gonna go on the diet this week. See those weights over there? I'm gonna start picking those up again.
What, move them to the other side of the room?
Hey, at least it would be more workout than I'm doing now.
10-4, buddy. All right, man. Well, shit. We'll wait till next week then.
Yeah, I'm done talking.
All right. Nerdcast part 2 is over.
Nerdstuff?
Is it Nerdstuff? Is that what we
call
it?
I think it's Nerdstuff.
Okay. You don't even know?
3 weeks in, I don't know.
I love it. All right, buddy.
I forgot what I named it.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Yeah, okay, bye.